We don't know as much about JD Vance as we do about Donald Trump, but it does seem that he has some of Trump's savviness. He understands what to focus on in politics and in his speeches, and he also understands what to try to hide. And that includes some of his, according to him, core political beliefs. And one of the things that we've been focusing on our coverage of JD Vance is what he thinks about abortion and related reproductive issues, including IVF, access to contraceptives and those sorts of things. He is, in short, spoiler alert, an absolute radical, more so than a Donald Trump, more so than many of the politicians on the right that we talk about on a daily basis.
The video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
If you had gone on his website, let's say 2 days ago, you'd have seen this. It just says, end abortion, I'm 100% pro-life. He's stealing my catchphrase there, but he says, I believe that abortion has turned our society into a place where we see children as an inconvenience to be thrown away rather than a blessing to be nurtured. And as we've already described to you, he is against exceptions for rape and incest as well, putting him on the extreme radical end of even his party. Very few Americans agree with him, but that's the position that he has. And it would be one thing as a country if, well, that Donald Trump obviously helped kill Roe v. Wade and JD Vance is even more radical. Okay, that's what the election can be about in part on that policy. But they're not interested in that. He has that opinion. He's given no indication that he's changed his mind on any of that, but he would really prefer that you not know about it because that section of his website that we talked about, you can't see that anymore because he's the nominee and they need to start cleaning up his image. So his whole website just now redirects to Donald Trump's website. And so if you go searching for his track record, not even just on this, on a number of different issues that he used to brag about, you're not gonna find it anymore. And they're going to be attempting to manage and clean up his image as much as they can. It's gonna be difficult because he's been very clear about this. He's even previously said, abortion was the first political issue I can ever remember caring about. And even after 20 years, it still shocks me that progressives just ignore there's an innocent life involved. I would say if you're so focused on innocent lives and if you're 100% pro-life, why is it that you seem to have no problem whatsoever with the deaths going on in Ukraine, the deaths going on in Gaza? He does not care at all. He says that we are not nearly as deferential to Israel in their strategy in Gaza. So again, 100% pro-life means a certain thing and not anything else. But that said, Sharon, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, and he's also not interested in talking about kids dying in schools either. He's not pro-life enough to think about that. I do think he is radical and dangerous, but I also, again, I don't know how deep it goes because he's so, I don't want to overuse the word evil, but diabolical perhaps, that he will pivot on a dime just because the ultimate goal is what's important here. So I don't know how much further. I know it's going to be difficult for people to fathom it. He could be even worse than that. Or he could be moderate in some ways that we don't know. Whatever gets him across the finish line and gets him to be able to seize power is what he's capable of. And that to me is super, super dangerous. That comes with your warning label.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So hypothetically, I don't actually believe this, but if you were worried about what he could be as VP or as president, one thing that might make you feel better is he is so ready to just completely turn on a dime. Everything that he says is like his core first political values. Maybe he never meant it. Maybe that was artifice just as much as the current iteration of who JD Vance is artifice. Maybe like a lot of these politicians, he literally doesn't mean any of this. And he just likes to put on a nice suit and live in a nice house and go to parties and eat caviar and whatever. And he will say literally whatever he needs to say at any given point to get that. If he needs to cozy up to Paul Ryan 10 years ago, that's what he'll do. That's what he did. If you need to cozy up to Donald Trump now, that's what he'll do. And that's what he's doing right now. I don't necessarily believe that, but if that brings any solace to anyone, maybe it's true. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?